Good day and welcome to the Power Up. I'm your host, Tami Hill Thomas. So glad that you're joining us. This most important opportunity to be equipped, educated, empowered, and elevated to make a difference where we are. As we are a community, we consider our brothers and sisters around the globe and how we make a difference in our homes, in our networks. So let's start our power up with Inside the News. We want to elevate during these cold weather months Homeless Persons Memorial Day. Why? Because every individual matters. We all have a story. You might not know mine, but just know I have one. The National Consumer Advisory Board, the National Coalition for the Homeless, the National Health Care for the Homeless, all of the national agencies who deal with homelessness in general and develop policies that make it to Capitol Hill have come together to encourage constituents across all organizations, grassroots and faith-based, as well as governmental, to take part in Homeless Persons Memorial Day events. They typically kick off in December when the cold weather months start, as well as the days getting longer. Most of the events are to elevate the remembrance of those who have died so that we can be more strengthened and resolved to work out how our world can be better when we focus on saving a life and the value of individuals, even those without homes. On the first day and the coldest night, as communities come together, we elevate the thought that each homeless person had a story. Many communities come together to light candles, offer prayers, have personal remembrances where family members get the opportunity to lead marches and have moments of silence for their loved ones. How important that is as a way to remember a life. The events honor those who have paid the ultimate price due to collective failure, inadequate housing, even systems that cause tragic, avoidable deaths. It's too important to think about how we can put the right people in policy, in positions to make a difference, to make laws and push our tax dollars in the direction of those in the most need. So we unite with many agencies to grow in our remembrance, our commemorance, so that those who passed on the streets still live in our hearts. We're grateful that many agencies have developed national consumer advisory boards and take opportunities to be involved in the national point in time count. That's when global individuals, those who are in government and different type of positions, go out and actually engage with the individuals who live on the streets and in emergency shelters, to take an opportunity to hear directly from them, to offer outreach services and broker one-on-one opportunity for relationship. You can make a difference. Losing individuals is often not the how, but in cases where we can prevent others, shouldn't we be elevated in our mindset and our advocacy to make a difference? We lose our friends and colleagues in homelessness too often in large amounts of numbers. And there are ways that we can prevent the huge loss. Those who have died without housing, their living conditions lead to death. And then those who live on the street that could be prevented, but deal with stigma and judgment. So we want to offer resources to you. Go to the National Alliance to End Homelessness, NAEH.org. They are a national voice and advocate. Their executive leadership, Ann Oliva, who is the CEO, travels the country along with teams that sit with policy makers so that the funds that do get filtered to those grassroots agencies, to those big governments, are proportioned and focused to help so that we can limit the hurt. Also, the National Health Care for the Homeless, another great resource, who puts their advocacy on how to help individuals live well in spite of the brick and mortar that might cover their heads. There are many that live on park benches in tents on the street. How about families, children that live in cars? They don't have a choice. Their lives still matter. Family, consider going to the National Healthcare for the Homeless website, nhchc.org, to get information on not just the National Homeless Persons Memorial Day, but what you can do where you are to make a difference. Wouldn't you want your life to stand for something for generations to come? Wouldn't you want individuals to feel like it's so important, not just that you existed, but you made sure to edify and elevate the names of those who lived with struggle to help others not have to live with those struggles? In other words, to help prevent and end homelessness. The National Health Care for the Homeless and the National Alliance to End Homelessness. Two powerful entities who use their voice for good and have pushed so much policy that it made a difference to solidify a day of remembrance for those national homeless persons that we should continue to memorialize. Family, may we all care about our brothers and sisters, remembering we're all one human race. I'm excited about the show that's ahead of us. We have powerhouse guests that's going to join us. Family, stay tuned. There's more after this.
What's up, family? It's your girl, Terry White Hicks, and I am here to invite you to join me every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Midday Miracles and Manna, right here on We Empower Network.
Welcome back to the Power Up. On our platform, our producers take time to bring content that's both enlightening and uplifting, hoping that individuals would leave this show with information and knowledge, as well as feeling empowered. So today, we brought you the best of the best. I'm excited to share this platform and welcome the Fab Five of the Empowered Morning Show, broadcast live here on the We Empower Network. Joined today by the CEO and executive of the We Empower Network, Angela Lewis, and Dr. Terry Y. Hicks, as well as the phenomenal Regina Hutt, Dr. Tanika Sparkle Osborne, and Miss Luck Queen Honeybee Dior. All right. So excited. I'm a true fan. I have no problem saying it. You all have energy, vibe, and excellence that makes folks want to get up out of bed and do something with their day. So what I would first, if you would, to our audience that spans the globe, if you would each just share an introduction, a little about yourself and your impact in the world.
Well, I guess I will kick it off then. First and foremost, Tammy, thank you so much for having us on the Power Up. Because, baby, listen, we're empowering the mornings, but you are definitely powering up every Friday. So we love it. We love it. I am the founder and CEO of the WIN Network, which is We Empower Network. I also have We Shine Media Solutions, where I am the publisher of that. So out here really helping people to just get empowered with their voices, with the content that they have to share with the world and make a difference.
I guess I'll go ahead and jump right in, right behind my sis Angela. I am Terry Y. Hicks, and first of all, Tammy, thank you so much for having us on your show today. We are super excited to be here. But I am Terry Y. Hicks, and I get to serve as the executive producer of the Empowered Morning Show, and also the executive producer and creative director for the We Empowered Network. In addition to that, I am the CEO of the Vision Now Agency, and I offer all kinds of services for visionaries, leaders, creatives, authors, preachers, anybody in the space that's in front of people. I'm the person to kind of help you stay there. And so we offer all kinds of services. And my goal really is to help others to figure out what that vision is for their lives and then figure out how to make that vision happen.
I guess we're not going in some kind of order. So I'm going to go next. Tammy, thank you so much. We was on the same minds. We are sunshine this morning. So thank you for shining with me. I am Sparkle Tanika Osborne. I am owner of Sparkle for You, where you're guaranteed to leave sparkles wherever you go. So if you ever need a style, a cute style or a different style, or need a unique look, please connect with me. I am also the founder of I Love Her, where I help you fall in love with yourself and sprinkle sparkles wherever you go. Yes, it's a guarantee.
Hi, Tammy. Thank you for having us. I am so excited to be here. I am the Luxe Queen Honeybee Dior, the owner of Truth Honey and Elegant Brand. I am the first Black woman urban beekeeper to do a luxury brand of honey. I am also the American Businesswoman of 2024 and the president of the American Businesswoman chapter here in Atlanta, Georgia. I am so excited. I also have a branding company called If Your Look Is Not Becoming to You, Then You Should Be Coming to Me to Lux Your Brand. That is me in a nutshell.
Thank you, Tammy, again for having us on today. I'm truly honored and blessed. My name is Regina Hutt. I'm a holistic practitioner. I am CEO of Sacred Healing Mind, Body, and Soul. I'm also a personal fitness trainer. I also compound my own medicinal medicine. I also have a skincare line. And I'm also now bringing forth my own aromatherapy candle line coming out as well. But I believe as in a whole that, hey, we can heal thyself.
I thank you all. Listen, family, when I tell you we bring the best, we bring the best. What I heard and what others just witnessed was disciplines and expertise and excellence that span so many different career paths. There are authors amongst you, there are educators amongst you. There's so much more in a bio than you have 2 seconds to hurry up and introduce yourself with. So I do want to let folks know that all of these individuals have followings. I was telling someone the other day, Angela, Miss Lewis, certainly you sit amongst kings when you're talking about being a media executive. And I was telling them the other day that, I have 5,000 followers. I don't know all those people. But it becomes important when your influence is valued and respected. So I want to dig into that just a little bit with each of you, if you don't mind. And I'm not going to call any name out, but please feel free, whatever is on your heart. Empowerment is the name of your show, the Empowered Mornings Shor. And I would, if you all could share why empowerment is so important.
Well, let me go ahead and kick off. I'll go ahead and kick it off. So For me, Tammy, when I was thinking about the show and putting it together and these beautiful ladies, being a part of it, for me, empowerment is something that you really have to feel inside. You really have to be able to understand that you have what it takes. And you have control over your destiny. You have to believe that and be confident enough to step out there and make moves for yourself. And I know that there's so many marginalized people who, feel like the control has been taken away from them, that they have to bow down and bend to different rules and things that maybe they don't agree with. But I wanted to be able to put something out there in the morning that would allow people to plug in and get their day started, because how you start a thing is how you end a thing. And if I can help you to get empowered in the morning, then that means that throughout your day, decisions that you make to help empower yourself, you can make them, because now your energy level, that vibration came up enough to where you feel good about the decision that you're making that's going to impact your life. Because one decision can be the catalyst to change the trajectory of your life. And so if you can do that and become empowered in the morning, become empowered one day, that leads to the next day, and it's a continuous cycle. And if I'm excited and empowered for my day, then I'm going to be able to empower my sisters, who are in turn going to be able to empower other people around them, whether it's inside their household or not. Somebody can take something from that and feel good enough to say, I take charge of my life and I'm going to live the best life possible with the resources and tools and tips and strategies that I have in my arsenal. So ladies, somebody else take it away, because I'm doing too much, but that's why, Tammy.
I think Angela just preached a whole sermon right there. We can just end the show right here. Tammy, just end the show right here. But I do want to tack on to that, because I think what she said is so important. My why for empowerment is really helping people to discover that everything we do starts with a choice. Everything we do is a decision. You can choose to be empowered. You can choose to live in depression. You can choose to be empowered. You can choose to feel defeated. You can choose to be empowered. You can choose to live in failure. And so we have decided to take this path. Each of us individually and also collectively have decided to say, you know what? We need to help other people not only understand that it's a choice, but show them the choice. Because every morning, let me tell you something, every morning at 7 a.m. is a commitment, okay? It's a commitment, but it's a true commitment. And every day that we show up, we're showing people in real time we're choosing to be empowered. We're not choosing to fall prey to depression. We're not choosing to be defeated. We're choosing to get up. We're choosing to be motivated. And then we're choosing to spread that motivation and empowerment to others. So I love that we are not only showing people that you have a choice, but we're showing people every day in real time how you make the choice, how you decide, how you show up.
Oh, I love
Yes.
that.
I just have to add, as well as my sisters have said, in the morning is critical, because when you get up in the morning, most times you don't want to get up. You don't want to get these kids ready. You don't want to go to work. It's a whole lot of things that you don't want to do. So we come and help you get what you do want to do. So you have a list of the don'ts. So we come to pour in the do. So when you get some do in it, it makes you move a little different. So we're here to help you move different, to help that mind say, I might not want to, but I'm going to do it because I'm doing it for myself. It goes back to that self-love, that self-encouragement. And where 2 or 3 are gathered, it's on.
Oh my goodness, I love that so much. So, empowerment, of course, being a part of this empowerment network, I look at it as pure validation. I look at it as how we recognize and celebrate our own or our sisterhood, right? It also helps me feel appreciated, supported, and motivated. I also look at it, it creates a purpose in life. And so when you just wake up in the morning, again, like Sparkle said, it is a task to get up, but when you're dedicated and when you push through and you understand the greater purpose that you have and what you're getting ready to create, then you'll be so empowered. You'll be so empowered to be successful productivity is very important when it comes to being empowered. And when you have a sisterhood of women that is your team, then you can move forward and do anything that you put your mind to. Now, that's what I think empowerment is.
Oh, yes, I love this. Empowerment to me is sacrifice. A
Yes.
true empowerment is sacrifice. It doesn't always come with the glam, and it doesn't always come with the glitter. But empowerment is standing in your truth. Empowerment is knowing who you are. Empowerment is speaking life. Empowerment is having joy. Empowerment is peace. Empowerment is humbleness. And empowerment is rejoiceful all in one. And when you are coming out of things that have kept you bound and you are now free, you are empowered.
And so, thank you all for joining us today. Yeah, no, okay. So I got a few more questions. I'm just not going to let y'all go that fast. There is much more to how you impact society that I want to delve into. We live in a world where sometimes all hell is breaking loose. Sometimes you're between the rock and the hard place. Sometimes you're dealing with the distractions in your mind or the distractions of people. Sometimes there's stuff folks deal with in life. I've personally witnessed that you all have a voice that you use as advocates. You're not just on a TV show and that's it. You actually are speakers, keynote speakers at different events, and you use what you can in books. You've authored and you find ways, whatever the way is, to touch even one. Now, I know you've touched thousands, but there are ways that you love on even just the one. So I want to kind of go just a little bit deeper. I appreciate your empowerment, and to use Dr. Hicks' words, and I call her Dr. Hicks because she is such a strong voice in the academic field. But I wonder if you could speak to how you handle the naysayers and the hate.
I don't know. Were you asking me, Tammy? Because how do you handle the naysayers and the haters? Real easily. They're a non-factor. And the reason I say that is because I'm reminded of the story in the book of John with the blind man who was crying out to see Jesus, and all of the people around him were telling him to hush, be quiet. Jesus don't want to come see you. That's Jesus, and he ain't trying to hear you, and you the blind man, and don't nobody want to talk to you. And when Jesus heard him crying out, he went over to where they were, and he told those same people to go get the blind man and bring him to Jesus. And what I love is the verse says that those same people that were telling him to be quiet began to cheer him on. And it's like a real life example of your haters becoming your motivators. And so I say they are a non-factor because truthfully, those same people, it's all about perspective. I might hear you saying I'm not going to make it, or I'm not going to do well, or this thing isn't going to work out. But to me, I'm the type of person that when you tell me I can't do something or I won't do something, that just made me want to do it even more now because, now I have something to prove, whether it's to you or it's to me. And so I, personally think that haters, naysayers, people that speak negatively, they are a non-factor because they don't dictate or determine the outcome of what I'm doing, but they do help along the process. So whether or not you are supporting me, because you're adding to everything that is thrown at me, is just adding to the material. It's adding to the book I'm going to write. It's adding to the sermon I'm going to preach. It's adding to the play I'm going to write. It's adding to my next song. It's adding to my next. It's whatever I'm doing. All you're doing is adding to, you're giving me more material and more motivation. So that's why I say they're a non-factor, because everything that you do, I'm going to take it to turn it into something that's going to help me continue doing what I'm doing.
Say that, Terry.
When I think about the haters and the non-motivators or whatever, we were naysayers, I look at it as it builds tenacity, it builds perseverance, right? Because if we're trying to elevate and get blessed and move to a higher level, we have to know that those naysayers are just our stepping stones. And if we can't look at them as stepping stones, then we might not be able to handle what God is going to give us as we're going to the next level. So go ahead and hate, go ahead and say no, because God has the final say so at the end of the day anyway. So yeah, just keep doing it. That's gonna keep me going right on forward and up.
I say they are giving me proof that I'm on the right track. The haters and they are validating and giving me proof that I am on the right track. People don't like talking about great things. You know, they don't whisper about those, but they whisper about things that they don't understand. And when they don't understand, their mind just goes all kinds of ways. So it gives me the proof that God, you are working in me because you are activating, because they seeing it and they like, why? Why her? Absolutely, because I am God's favorite child. And because I'm his favorite, he chooses me. So I love it.
Amen. Amen. You know what? I love the naysayer and the haters. One, it shows me your weakness. And that's the main thing that I need to know, because if I know your weakness, then I know how to dominate. And when I know how to dominate, that means I'm coming to take all. So I'll let this motivate me even more to show you what you thought you knew about me. You're about to see a whole nother level, baby, because all that hating that you did, you're about to even see greater. So I love them.
I love it, honey. When I tell you, see, that's why we love the Empowered Morning Show. Y'all see the energy, you see the perspective, you see the fact that no matter what somebody else has to say, they can't stop your shine. They can't block your flow. They cannot do anything to keep you from whatever God has for you, because what he has for me is for me. So what you have to do is really take that negative energy and reverse it into a positivity that's going to allow you to get laser focused on what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Because at the end of the day, Tammy, what I realized about haters and people who don't want to see you win is that I can't get caught up in that. It's really a distraction. It's really meant to take you off course. It's really kind of something that's put in like a roadblock. But what I found out, just like when you use GPS, baby, and you hit it, and they're going to tell you that, oh, it's a detour up front. You need to turn to the left or turn to the right. There are alternative paths to still get you to the desired goal. You can't let one person stop you. You can't let 10 people stop you. You still have to be able to understand that what's inside of me is inside of me for a reason and a purpose. And I cannot allow you to keep me from doing it. So if anything, hopefully, if you want to be a hater, you're going to be a hater. But hopefully at the end of the day, you're going to turn around and be like, even though I didn't like you in the beginning, even though I thought I was going to stop something, what I realized is that you done flipped that thing, and now I'm inspired. Now I'm challenged to go out here and be the best version of me. What I thought was going to be something that would keep you from doing something actually turned out being in my best interest. So all I can tell people is no matter who is trying to come against you, don't allow that to stop your shine. Don't allow that to inhibit your greatness, because it's all about you, and you cannot.
My, I appreciate the different perspectives, because as much as folks don't want to talk about it, it's a real thing for many. People have a way, sadly, of distracting others, of causing individuals to stop their mission, of having so much influence over one individual that they feel like they're no longer worthy of what they were built for, or all of a sudden they're breakable when they weren't built to break. Right? There are things that happen in our life that are unwelcome. We just made it through a pandemic. Like, there's stuff that happens. We get sick in our bodies. We bury loved ones. There are things that happen that, aside from the hate, and this is my 2 cents on that, I try to tell folk that, Haters are meant to hate. It's their job. So don't trip over that. They're just doing what they're designed to do. If they don't like you and hate you, they're going to not hate somebody else. So keep it moving. And there you go. But when we start thinking about how influence is important, I want to come back after this commercial and after this break. And I want to pose to you all, for individuals who might be seeing you for the first time, might be meeting you all for the first time, might now go get your books and look for conferences where you're speaking and want to learn more about each of you because of your influence. When you come back, I would love for you to speak to those individuals who don't feel that, who are no, there's something, we're hardwired for success, but how to tap into that. So family, the Fab Five isn't leaving me. Y'all not leaving me, right? Just I get a few more minutes. Oh, there's so much more to come. So stay tuned. There's more after this. Hey family, it's Tammy, your empowerment coach with this elevation moment. Your presence in the midst of confusion can totally shift an atmosphere. There might be times when it seems like all hell's breaking loose, or maybe the total opposite, where you feel isolated, like there's nothing that's working for you. I want to remind you that the power of presence can totally make a difference in a moment. If you notice that individuals are in a confused state, or maybe they're a heightened, elevated atmosphere, and you bring the peace and the calm, can you imagine how that could move everyone into unity? And when you're in those places where you're just unsure, do you know that tapping into advisors and resources can help you win? So come on, family. Where you are might be temporary. It might feel different, but just know you might be the answer, the change maker in the moment. Stand up, rise up, and go be great. Welcome back to the Power Up. I'm your host, Tammy. So grateful to be joined today by the Fab Five of the Empowered Mornings Show here on the We Empowered Network and globally on many different platforms. Family, one of the things that I would love to ask you all, and the way that you work, how you're built to be successful, how you actually do the making a difference. Would each of you speak to someone who feels like they want to be like you, but don't know where to start? How can they get to your level? Or folks that see you that you've arrived and judge you from the outside, being all the fabulous that you are. What would you say to someone who's just trying to start?
Well, I always say when I start talking, right, there's this word called greatness. First of all, you must realize that you have it. You must understand that it's already within you. I always like to say when you lux your mind, you begin to lux your life. And so the key is learning how to tap into it. You must want to reach the highest version of yourself, which means you have to close off all negativity and focus on what can and what can not be changed, right? So, it's all about giving yourself permission to live, giving yourself permission to say all of those things that I've been through, all of those things that I've gone through. Those are just catapulted me up to the place where I need to be now. So all you have to do is be like, listen, I'm the best to ever do it. I am the leading expert in my field. So whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you feel like you want to do, just walk into it. Walk in your truth as always. I mean, and just don't let anybody tell you any different. I've had so many naysayers, so many people tell me, oh, you can't be a beekeeper. You don't look like a beekeeper. You can't do this. If I had a jar of motivation speeches every time someone said that, I would be at the top. I would be, listen. And so I'm like, listen, don't worry about what somebody else says you can't do. All it is what God says and what you're asking God for, and to let Him go before you, let Him lead that pathway, and just walk into it and be great.
I love that, Dior.
Amen.
And truthfully, I think that it's about mindset. It's about perception. It's how you perceive yourself, how you see yourself, what you think about yourself. Because if you can get that into your mind, and like Dior said, when the other people come to say something differently than what you know, they can't talk you out of it. Like, I know my name is Terry, so it doesn't matter how much you come up to me and say your name is Susie. I know my name is Terry, so I'm not even going to argue with you because I know that you're wrong. I know what my name is. And so you have to know who you are. You have to know what you bring to the table. You have to know that you have greatness in the same way. I know that I have greatness, so I produce in that way. I operate in that way. I wake up every morning with the mindset that today is going to be a great day because I carry greatness on the inside of me. Today is all about me producing greatness. Everything I put my hands to do, everything I think about doing, everything that's on the agenda is going to be done in excellence, and it's going to be done with greatness because I have greatness on the inside of me. So I think it's mindset and it's perception, what you think about yourself and what you know of yourself. Just like you know who you are, just like you know your address, just like you know your name, you have to know that you carry greatness. And that's something that it takes time to build up to that level. It happens over time, but it starts with the thought, and it starts with your mindset, and it starts with how you perceive yourself.
You know what? I like the question that you asked, and it's very profound. You know, when I speak with somebody and they're going through and they're really wanting to know how to reach greatness, first of all, I let them know it's your individuality. You got to be who you are. You can't be like me, but you can be the greatest that's inside of you. And in order for you to see that your greatness is more than greatness, because we all have our own journey. So your journey is going to be different than my journey, but your greatness. I also, for me, I lead by example. I lead by example of what greatness is. I live by what I say. So I'm not going to tell you something that I'm not, showing you. And then also just, hey, you can do anything. I don't care what nobody tries. I don't care what they try to come at you. I don't care what they try to say. You are the greatest that ever can be. And let them to know that anytime that you try to mimic somebody else's gift, you show weakness, and you're not weak. You weren't created to be weak. You were created to be powerful. And showing them that, hey, you can do this. And I'm that type of person. Hey, if you need me and we need to wake up every morning, we need to pray together, then we're going to pray together. Hey, if you need, because, I'm a work, you need to work out together, I'm going to meet you at the track to help you. I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm not just going to verbalize it, because I'm an action type of a person. I'm a solution-based type of a person. So when I reach out to women, I'm showing you that, hey, I came from the bottom. I know what it's like. So I'm going to tell you my truth, and I'm going to show you my truth. And if you can see the greatness I have overcame, that it means that whatever you've gone through, you can come through too. And I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader and mean it and be there for you and sacrifice with you. That's me.
I'm going to go back to what it took for me. Falling in love with me was the best decision. After falling in love with God, I fell in love with God first and then fell in love with me. And when we two came together, it was a boom, boom, boom. It was power by itself. People talk about power, but loving yourself and loving God who created you. When he created you, he threw away that knit, that mold. He said, is no other one like Sparkle. I know this world can't take two of me. It's too much of me for two of us. So he only created one. And you have to tell those other voices in your head, because those voices will talk to you. I am not going to sit here and play like they won't. They will talk to you, but your love for yourself will cut it down, will dilute it. And before you know it, you will find yourself deserving, worthy, and valuable. Once you get those things, it's nothing nobody can do and nothing no one can say to stop you, not even yourself. So I will tell you, get out of your own way. Stop blaming everybody else and what happened back 500 years ago and what this person did to you. Get out of your way and tell yourself, love you, and let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All you gonna do is win one and win it. Hey, who can't take those? Win, and then I'm gonna win, and then I won, and then I win again. That's a combination. And you have to have that in your own mind. I am the winner. I am the champion. I am the chosen one. I am victorious. I am. Okay, Angela. Okay, you know that
I was going to say, drop the mic and close it out.
Okay.
That's it right there. At the end of the day, we have to understand that there's only one you. You are the secret sauce. Nobody can do what you do. Now, don't get me wrong. People out here may have similar ideas, but there's only one you. So I don't care if you're fixing burgers. I don't care if you're selling jewelry. I don't care if you're doing clothes. I don't care if you're doing hair. Whatever it is that you see that somebody else is doing, they still will never be able to do it like you, because when God created you, he made you unique. So just like there's only one person, Angela A. Love Lewis, that has this set of fingerprints, baby, there's only one of you. And because that is the case, you may see what I do, and I'm going to encourage you and inspire you, and you can do the same exact thing, but with your twist, with your special sauce on there, because it's going to be a little different. See, when you're cooking, no two cooks are going to cook the same way, even if they follow the same recipe. Because see, somebody else may be like, baby, I like a little bit more salt in mine. Somebody else say, well, girl, child, you know, I'm trying to put a little cinnamon in mine because, you know, this is how I like mine, right? You're always going to do something a little bit different. So be mindful of people who tell you it's got to be a certain way, because it doesn't. God made us all different. There is no two flowers that are the same, or trees, or animals, or people. And because it's all different, that means that your way is always going to be the right way, because that's how God wired you to be. And once you can understand that and break that down and trust the process, trust how he made you, trust what's inside of you, when you love yourself enough to trust you, oh, baby, you can blow the roof off this thing and do whatever it is you want to do. Don't stop. Keep going, but keep putting you in everything that you do, and watch you be great. Watch you be successful. Watch you go out here and be the greatest. Honey, what Muhammad Ali say? Baby, listen, I am the greatest. And that's how you should feel about yourself, no matter who you come around, who you come against, or who is in your midst. You are the greatest.
And the crazy thing is, y'all are on fire like this at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what's crazy. It's not like this was a warm-up. This is everything I witnessed. I appreciate each of you coming from your heart and taking time to speak, because we're all in different places and everyone's life deserves a push. You all are pushers, all right? What I would, if you would, in these last few minutes, we like to leave this platform by sharing information, something tangible that an individual can learn and edify their mind, increase their knowledge base. And I would, because all of you are executives, all of you are CEOs in some form, all of you hobnob and deal with other executives and CEOs. So not just leaders outside, but leaders in your homes. If you could, what tips what would you share with someone who maybe has thought about achieving what you're doing? Executive beekeeping, academic accomplishments, styling and for the best celebrities, maybe starting their own network or figuring out how to be an author. I think I could work out a few things. I want to do there's things that you all do that's bigger than your introduction. But what would you give as a tip to someone who is just asking, like, what can I buy? Where should I start? Is there a tool? Is there a person I should connect with? What would you tell them was a valuable resource for you when you started? What helped you accomplish your mission that your why pushed you to accomplish?
Well, one of the things I think it's very important that you get around the people that you want, like whatever if you're wanting to be sell jewelry, get around someone that's selling jewelry. Shadow people. Stop thinking that I can't let them know I like what they doing and I want to do what they want to do. Get up under them and figure out everything that they do. It just like Angela said, you're gonna do it different. But get around some people. HR is my background. Job shadowing is so critical. Is to do the job shadowing, and that's in any area that you're wanting to go. Shadow them, watch them, and I believe that's taking your step. And then God has started giving you another step and another step. Before you know it, you had wrote a whole book and all you thought you was doing was just writing one chapter. But you have to make up in your mind, I'm going to do it and I'm going to get around some people that's doing it. If you always just the smartest person in your crew, the wisdom, the one that praying, the one that's fasting, if you're the only one in your circle that's doing it, maybe 2024 is the year to find you some new circles. Upgrade yourself. So that's my quick.
I'm going to jump in here. That was good, Sparkle. My things come in points. So I'm going to say read, write, and plan. I truly believe that readers are leaders, leaders are readers. And so to really do anything, I know reading is a lost art nowadays, but I mean, whether it's an audiobook or, a hard copy, I think it's important to read. And not just to read the self-help books, but like Sparkle said, whatever your industry is, just like you need to connect to people in that industry, you need to find books in that industry. If you want to be a beekeeper, find books about beekeeping and how to lead in that space. If you want to be a media executive, find books about how to do that. And so I think it's really important to read. I'm always reading. And so I think it's important to read. Also write. The word even tells us to write the vision, make it plain. You have to get it out of your head and onto paper, whether you're writing it digitally or you like me and you still do the, pen and paper, however you want to do it. But you got to get it out of here and out in front of you, because the longer you keep it in here, it's just going to stay in here. You got to put it out in front of you so that you can see it, so that you can read it, so that you can kind of map things out, so that it can make more sense to you, so that you can elaborate. And then lastly, once you have that plan, then once you have that vision written down, then you can plan. You can look at dates. You can look at your calendar. You can make sure you have a schedule. You can set up an agenda and outline for your day. But it's important that you have a plan, that you don't just run into something, but that you think about how to execute that thing masterfully and then create a plan to do that, so that when you do whatever it is you're going to do, you do it well.
Oh, that was great, Terry. You took the words right out of my mouth. You took the words right out of my mouth when you said write the vision. Now, there's this thing that when we write the vision and we make it plain, We have to have faith the size of the mustard seed. And guess what? Faith without works is dead. So we could write that vision and we could put that plan out, but if we don't act on this plan and if we don't start walking into this plan, then it'll be nothing. So a lot of times we talk about it. We talking about, oh, we're gonna do this in 2024. Oh, we're gonna do this. We're gonna eat healthy in 2024. We're gonna do this, but those things sound good. However, if you are not committed to the process, then it's all null and void. Like God can give us these visions and these inspirations all day, but just as quick as He has given it to us, because we don't act on it, He could quickly snatch it away. And then you'll see somebody out there like, oh, I thought. Is that what I was supposed to be doing? Yes, you were supposed to do it, but you didn't act on it. You just wrote it down, you talked about it, but you didn't put it into fruition. So just going forward, put these things in fruition. I tell Angela all day, Angela, I want to do this. And she be like, okay, now listen. You done said this 5 days ago, okay? You done said this a month ago. Where is the action? And so that's why it's so great to have a group of women that can hold you accountable. Find you an accountability partner, okay? Because if you don't, then you just out here running wild, and they keep it in perspective. So make sure you writing that vision, you have that plan, and you make it plain to the Lord, but you also got to have faith the size of the mustard seed to know that it's gonna happen. But then faith without works is dead. So get that action going.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and add my two, Regina. In addition to what the lady said, number one, closed mouths don't make connections. See, they say closed mouths don't get fed, but they don't make connections either. See, in your mind, like Dior said, you can write some things down, but you gotta open your mouth and ask for help, but you got to open your mouth and make connections with people that can help bring your vision to pass. See, you're not a one-person show. Somebody's always going to have to help you. I don't care where it is or how it's going to happen. Anything in life that you do is going to require somebody else to help make that vision come to pass. And the only way somebody knows you need help is when you open your mouth. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to tell somebody, you know what, I see what you're doing with the beekeeping. I'm a little afraid. I didn't know how to get started. Can you help me? Can you tell me how to get started? Somebody like Terry said, reading a book. Terry, I don't really know. I want to, know how to get out here and do a management company, but can you tell me what kind of book can I read that will get me in the direction? Until you open your mouth, you're never going to be able to see your vision come to pass. It'll be something that you're reading or looking at, but you got to ask people to help shorten the learning curve. Because if you're just sitting around here all day with your mouth closed trying to do it by yourself, you're going to be looking up and things are going to be passing you by. By the time you get one concept, technology has came in and something new has come on. So open your mouth so that you can shorten that learning curve and get about making things happen. The second thing I want to say is, if you don't do anything else, invest in you. Invest in yourself. Take those courses. Go to that conference. Pay that coach. Do something that is investing in you with the knowledge that you need to be successful in the field that you're going to be in. Because it's a lot of people that may do what you do, but the people who invest in themselves, who put a little money out there, because sometimes we think that, people want to do everything for free. Free is a certain level. People pay to get other information. See, it's levels to everything. If you're comfortable staying here on the concrete, baby, stay on the concrete, and you out here with everybody else who are pounding the pavement. But if you want that higher air, it means you're going to have to invest in yourself, and it's going to cost you some money. It's going to cost you some time. It may even cost you some people that you were accustomed to hanging around with. But by all means necessary, invest in you and watch how things change for you.
Ain't that the truth? Y'all spoke on just everything. But you know what? When I tell people, because at the end of the day, I am a business owner. I have two businesses. So I have a health and beauty business. So at the end of the day, I had to know business first. I have a gift, but do I have a gift of business? Those are two different things. A lot of people don't realize you have a gift, but do you have the knowledge of business? Because those two things are two different entities. And understanding that business and what is a good profitable investment. You can't just be investing and then you don't see the profit that you're going to get back. And also knowing how to to steward your money. If you don't know how to steward your money, then why are you even in business? And I'm always educating people on that too. When they want to have a business, I don't care what kind of business. There's certain contexts of things that you do when you're running a business, and how you're supposed to operate and what you're supposed to do in order to be successful. I wouldn't be successful as I am now in my finances if I didn't educate myself in business. So the number one thing is, yes, educate yourself. It is so important. Our people that, for a lack of knowledge, they perish. We have a great idea. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. I get excited and I get all hype. And all of a sudden you get hype, and all of a sudden, you know what? The business closed. Why? Because you didn't really truly have a business plan. You had an idea, but you didn't have a business plan. And when you don't have a business plan and you get to see it and orchestrate it out to see where your profits are, where you're going to invest, where is there going to be a loss at? And then because you can be disciplined. Because a lot of people don't understand, for the first 5 years, you don't even get paid. A lot of times, the first 5 years, So when I go into business, I know what I'm going to do and not going to do. I'm not going to spend worthless money. I'm not going to be going on all these expensive vacations when I'm in the building process. This is, people get it mistaken. We're in the building process, spending more than they're building. And then they wonder why it takes them so long to get to where they have to go. I always tell people, I'd rather people think that I can't own a loaf of bread, but in reality, I owe the bread company, baby. Let that sink in. So it's not about what the material things look like. It's what's in your bank at the end of the day, because it's not for show. So if you're serious about owning a business and you're serious about being this entrepreneur, then let's get down to the elementary and the fundamentals of business, because your gift is always going to be there, but you need to know how to work your business.
Y'all, I'm not able to unmute anymore, man. The show done shut me down because they're like, what are you talking for? We need to hear more now. And I'm not mad about it. I want to first, for anyone who's watching that did what I did and pulled out a pen and paper, because I've been writing since these ladies been talking the whole show. I got that much respect and needed saturation today. Connect and Shadow said, look for someone already doing it. Read, grow your knowledge. Write a plan, see it, makes a difference. Then work the plan. Thank you, Dr. Hicks said, execute that thing masterfully. I'm putting that on my computer. Thank you so much for those words. Commit to the process. Get an accountability partner. Yes. Someone who will push and ride and pull and lift and promote. And all right. Ask for help. Someone, here's the statement that the amazing Angela Lewis said, someone has to help your vision come to pass. Thank you for saying those words. Invest in yourself, coaches, courses, whatever it takes. Know how to be a steward over your money. You know, folks don't like talking about that. Thank you so much, Regina. Have a solid business plan and financial investment mindset. Family, we want to thank you so much for joining us today on the Power Up. Typically, we would have more time to do a whole lot of more stuff, but this was all God needed for us to do today. I want to personally thank the Fab Five of the Empowered Mornings Shows. Wow, thank you for rocking the Power Up today. I want to thank our amazing producers for making this happen. And thank you all for the amazing work you do in the earth. Know that there are folks that do big things that watch you. You motivate more than you understand. It really is a thing of God to watch his hand on each of your lives to do the different things that you do. And as the host, I personally want to thank you for your time today. As we wrap up the show, I'm going to take these last few seconds just to remind our amazing viewers that you're welcome to send us any questions, any requests. We get inquiries all the time. Maybe you'd like to touch base with these amazing ladies. You can find them all on different social media platforms, but you can also email us at tammy@thepowerup.net. We'll find a way to connect with you. Also, go to the We Empower Network and the We Empower Nation, y'all. There's a nation full of folk bigger than the Empowered Morning Show crew. We want to thank our first responders, our military, and our veterans for all that you do. Family, remember our homeless, and we'll see you next time.